Howdy, y'all. Well, I'm outside the gym here, LA Fitness here in Frisco, Texas. Beautiful sunny day. It's a little cool. Love the weather today, man. This is like fall weather. It's a little chilly, a little breezy even, but just beautiful. It's clear skies. Typical. It's going to be officially spring on Thursday, the 20th. I can't believe. Man, we're already well into the new year of 2025, and in fact, I'm looking right across the parking lot. Right over there is where I had created my New Year's resolution, or my first video for 2025. I was talking about New Year's resolutions and setting goals and staying consistent with the day-to-day practical steps it takes to reach those goals. And I'm just checking in with all you guys. How are you doing with those New Year's resolutions? Those the New Year's goals. And I say New Year's resolutions with quote unquote because it's such a common word used, but most people, by the time the end of January rolls around, into February, they've already given up, or they've slacked off, or they've forgotten about it, or swept it under the rug, or deemed it as, I'll get to it a little bit later, and keep putting it off. It's amazing how the days add up, how the weeks add up, and before you know it, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. And then you look back in life, and I've done this myself. I'm only sharing this because this is just coming from my heart. It's coming from the true me, my life, and my experiences and wisdom and what I've learned. And one of the things is that I've been a victim of this, where I've allowed myself to be a victim to it, and it is painful, man. The pain of regret, the pain of despair, the pain of grief far exceeds any fear that you might be feeling, which is a lot of it. Most of it is self-created, right, in our minds. But the fear of failure, or the fear of rejection, or the fear of falling flat on our face, or the fear of being judged, or the fear of being embarrassed because we went for something and maybe we put it out there, especially in today's day and age, in the digital age that we live in, social media world. We put things out there, and then if you don't follow through, or you fall short, there's a fear of embarrassment there, right? A fear of being judged. And I think that's a lot of times what we do, is we just most of us will just not give it a real honest go, a real honest effort. And I say that practically, step by step, consistently, day by day. And I'm guilty of that, man. Here it is. I like to use analogies, but it's what, like a football game has 4 quarters, right? The year has 4 quarters. We are almost done. We're wrapping up soon. Next Thursday this coming up Thursday, the March 20th, is officially spring, right? But this month is halfway over March, and that leads us to April 1st. The first quarter is done. That means the first quarter of the football game is over. Can you believe that? How fast? And I say this all the time. Every year it seems like it goes faster and faster. But it's true. I don't know why that is. Every year that goes by, we become a year older, right? But I don't know why every year just goes faster and faster. And, for me, I'm just being, and this channel is all about being completely transparent. In fact, I might post this on, well, I don't know if I'm going to post this on Facebook. I'm going to try to get away from Facebook and Instagram, honestly. TikTok, I haven't really even played around with. I really want to build my platform on YouTube. I'm all about long form content. I'm all about substance and creating content that really has value. I mean, I'm not saying that Instagram, TikTok, even Facebook doesn't have its perks, and it's good to stay, somewhat connected, or however, depending on what your objective is. Most people, it's just about quick dopamine hits, how many likes, how many views. It's all self-gratification. A lot of it is, right? I've been guilty of that, but I've been doing some deep work, man. This year has been already kicking my ass. I mean, getting back to what I was saying about putting things off, I mean, I've made some steps forward, but not fast enough. And I'm closer than I've ever been. These are some personal goals and breakthroughs that I'm looking to make through. In fact, hence the name of this YouTube channel, I've changed it to just Shawn Stasiak Breakthrough, because that's what I want this channel to truly be about. It keeps me accountable. I'm sharing information with all of you that hopefully you can find some merit, some substance out of it, that you can, first of all, let you know you're not alone, that whatever you're wrestling with in your life, right, whatever goal or breakthrough you've been trying to make for however long, weeks, months, years, decades, I don't care how, everyone's in different places, right? Everyone is going through their own, whatever that could be, those challenges. So however this can apply to you, whatever I share here, I hope that you realize that you're not alone and that there's hope, but more than just hope, to really to inspire you to have courage, because I'm just here to remind you, and this is speaking from personal experience, and you already probably know this, but it's truly that, when you let time go by and you look back and you realize, man, I put that thing off. I didn't really step forward to that dream or that vision, that passion and you lose passion over time, by the way. That's why motivation is so fleeting. That's why the ones who really succeed, I believe, and ultimately, find true fulfillment are the ones that have real discipline, that do the thing that's necessary each and every day, each and every week, right? When they don't feel like it, right? When you have fear of something, or you created this in your mind, a fear about something, whatever it could be, it's truly still stepping into that fear. And that's what takes courage, right? And as you build more courage, you build more confidence, and then you build more confidence, and you just keep running that over time. You start to build momentum, right? And what comes with momentum? More confidence. They feed off each other. But the main thing is, honestly, is just taking those steps. And I've learned that myself as I put things off that I might have a fear about, or second guessing or questioning something or whatever. And I put it off, find a way, vices that I'll find myself running down that path, whether it's social media, scrolling, right? Wasting time, getting distracted, whatever it could be. I have my own, I have a few little distractions. I like to play PS5 baseball, to be honest with you. MLB The Show, right? I think it's okay to have some balance in your life, to have a little bit of some leisure. Of course, you got to have some balance. You got to have leisure in your life. But I'm going to be honest, I played a little too much sometimes, a little too often. And my closer friends know this about me, and they've been on me about it. But my point is that it's easy to allow yourself to get distracted and go down these vices to keep you away from what is really at the core. And that's where the deep work comes in, man. And honestly, just taking that step into that fire, that's truly the key, I believe. And again, I'm just kind of checking in with you. I said I wanted to, build this YouTube channel up, and I'll be honest, I got a little discouraged. I posted a couple videos and I had next to nothing views, and I'm like, I don't know, I guess, anything that's worth, going after or accomplishing or creating or, succeeding at, it just takes consistency and time, and not to get so discouraged that you just kind of put things off. But it didn't be, YouTube's one of those things where I have to remind myself, this is something that this is where I want my life's work to be documented in a lot of ways. I want this channel truly to reflect me, of the man I am today, who I've become, including all the good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. And I'm hoping that, in the amount of time I've been on this planet, that I'm able to share some substance and merit and, topics that truly that we can connect on, and helps you apply it to your life, or gives you an idea or a thought or something where you be able to apply that and help you with any breakthroughs or challenges that you're having, but ultimately have those breakthroughs, right? That's really what my intention of this channel is. And as a speaker and as a wellness coach, and taking that to the next level, again, I want to plan, and I keep saying I want to do this, I want to do that. So my videos moving forward, I'm planning to really have some direct purpose and intent of each video. This is kind of a last minute random, maybe it's another rant of mine, right? I'm outside LA Fitness, about to go in and get this workout knocked out, but I've got things to do later today, and part of that, a big part of that, is getting some things cleared up with my speaking and my wellness coaching. I love to help people break through. I get the most gratification and fulfillment when I know that I've shared a story or as I'm coaching a client and getting them to break through some sticking point, or when I go to speak and I share my story, that by the end of it, they're, they feel invigorated, they're encouraged, they feel inspired to go out and to, channel that and to have breakthroughs in their lives, whatever they're wrestling with in their lives. So I guess, at the end of the day, here we are, March 16th, 316. In biblical fashion, it's a significant date, John 3:16. If you're a wrestling fan, it means that Austin 3:16 just says he whipped your ass. And I feel like sometimes, speaking of getting your ass whipped, I feel like, life will do that to us, right? If we let it. So we got to control and dictate our own lives and stay focused on the task at hand. And whatever New Year's resolutions that you had this year that you feel that you kind of fell off the wagon a bit, or you just swept under the rug or distracted yourself, whatever that reason is, most likely it's because of fear or unconfidence, or just second guessing yourself, insecurities, whatever it might be. I'm just here to remind you that I'm going through the same thing. And I also, now when I say, social media and scrolling, I find myself immersing myself much more into like pertinent YouTube channels, speakers, thought leaders, coaches, mentors, that space of self-development and self-breakthrough, right? I love that stuff. I as much as I'm at the gym, as much as I am and staying consistent with my fitness and nutrition, you have to immerse your mind in this content, in this material. That's exercise for your mind and your soul, because ultimately, most of our lives are dictated in our subconscious mind. So it's so important to watch the words we use, watch how we think. We got to be mindful of our actual thoughts, because our thoughts are going into this perpetual mode and autopilot. And most people's thoughts, unfortunately, are negative. They're either stuck on the past, they can't get out of the past, and that usually leads to like sadness and depression, or they think too much in the future, overthinking, and I'm guilty of this, okay? But that leads to more anxiety, right? But it's about living in the present moment, living in the now. And what are you doing today, right now, that's moving you closer and moving that needle closer to that vision, that inspired dream, that whatever that is for you, right? So we have to be mindful of that. But it's also immersing ourselves around the right people, the right environment. If you're alone in the world and you're not around a lot of people, I mean, look, I sort of tend to be a little bit of a lone wolf myself. I mean, I have a certain regime, a certain, schedule, and I have my goals and visions that I'm aiming towards. People are busy. I found as you get older, people have their own lives. They have family, they have kids, they have their jobs, they have their problems. At the end of the day, not to sound mean, but at the end of the day, a lot of times people just don't give a shit. They don't care about you, your problems. They have their own, right? Except for the ones that you're very close to, even family members though, and are very good for. I mean, again, what I'm saying is, the only person that's truly going to make a difference in your own life is you. Truly, you have to find that deep within, right? And yes, sure, seek out mentorship, coaches, and good friends, family members even. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, people are just inundated with their own lives. They you hear this term all the time. Tony Robbins says it. Nobody's coming to save you. No one really gives a shit at the end of the day, as harsh as that sounds. And that's true, yes and no. I mean, again, people that you're close to, people that you do have those really strong, valuable relationships with, of course, they're going to care and they're going to, be there for you and support you, right? The real ones and the ones that have the real true merit. But I'm just saying, in general, overall, people are just, they're immersed in their own crap, right? And in life, trying to get through it. So I'm just saying and encouraging you, and this is what I do, is I seek out, and that's the beauty of social media and this digital signal we live in, is that there's some, you have to filter through all the BS, all the quick dopamine, TikTok dance, all that bullshit, right? That has no merit, serves you any purpose other than getting a quick laugh or a quick dopamine hit. Okay, move on. What's next? All these shorts, everything's short form content. And I just think it has no value to it. I mean, not all of it, but majority of it is just crap. Right? That's why I love long form. I love real influencers, real speakers, real coaches that like lay gems, man, golden nuggets that if you take that information and you truly apply it, even take no, I would look at it like you're back in school. Watch a YouTube video of someone, of a speaker, a coach, something that you want to improve in your life, something that you want to have a breakthrough in, right? Whether that's finances, relationships, fitness, health, spiritual, like whatever it is, seek those, and you got to do a little research, right? Because there's a lot of crap. Again, you got to filter through the crap, but there's some blessings and gifts of these channels and these people that provide that information, right? I take notes, and not just take notes. I would look at it every day, and I would meditate on it, or I would really take those practical steps and apply it to your own life. So I feel like I didn't have a script or a structure before I hit record on this thing, but I'm just speaking from the heart, man, and I'm just telling you, hey, checking in for the new year, New Year's resolutions, and then I just went down this rabbit hole. But everything I'm saying, I say it to myself. There's a lot of the things I'm saying I experience myself. So you're not alone. Seek out good content on social media. And I hope that my channel eventually grows to a point where it will be seen and deemed as a very successful, impactful, channel that has merit and substance that people truly come to consistently to gain an insight, to gain some advice or suggestions or encouragement, or feel that love and support, because that's what this channel is about, right? So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope my 17 just about minutes of rant here landed for even one person, then I did my job. I did what I was supposed to do today. But anyway, you enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you may be in the world. And I'll just leave you with this for now. The one thing I will say that does help a lot too is, even though you're striving or you're feeling grief or despair in whatever that area of your life is, and maybe just in general, maybe you just deal with depression, anxiety, and sadness or loneliness or whatever it might be, whatever you're going through, just seriously take a moment to sit back and truly think about all the things that you are grateful for. Because gratitude, man, is so important. Let the universe, let God know how grateful you really are. Not just say it, all these little sayings like the attitude of gratitude, and, look, really think about it, really feel it. What do you have to be grateful for? Because you have a lot, I'm sure. Even if it's just one or two things, really endure that, really recognize what that is, and take that in and feel that at the core level. Because there are people in the world that are far worse than you are, that are going through far worse. So whenever you think you're having a bad day or a challenge, for me personally, there's a lot of chronic things that have just been built up over the years that I've somehow found a way to tolerate it and deal with it, and found ways to just, numb it or sweep it under the rug, or different, like, again, the vices, the different distractions, the ways. But when you stare it right in the face finally and realize you get to the root cause, you realize, wow, it's time to truly rip it out from the root and get rid of that toxic weed, right? But you have to really think to yourself, what am I grateful for? What is it that I'm grateful for? What and you start to really think on that level, you start to realize, wow, I do have a lot to be thankful or grateful for. And though I'm going through these issues, or it's been a long-standing issue, chronic condition, right? It's really almost like when you say a chronic illness, it's kind of in a spiritual sense or an emotional sense. It can be a chronic grievance or turbulence in your psyche, and then you embody this. And I can go into we'll do a different video on that, but how that can show up in your body, and how that can turn into, like, people, have diseases and get very ill, because I think they internalize these things and don't nip it right in the ass, man, like right where the root cause of what that is, to address that and to finally rip it out. Like, again, I keep making reference to Tony Robbins, but one of his specials, I think it was on Netflix, I forget the name of it, I'm Not Your Guru, talks about getting into the weeds, man, and just ripping that out, that toxic root, and throwing it away forever. Because most of us have those deep-rooted seeds that are toxic, that we have somehow found a way to tolerate it and find different ways to store it and put it away, but it's always running in the background, and it does affect your life more than you realize. And as you get older and you start gaining wisdom and insights, you start to realize these things. So, but attitude of gratitude, man, just think about what you're grateful for. Focus on who that person is, who you want to be, what you really want to accomplish, what life experiences you want to feel. Focus on that, and then taking the daily practical steps to reach those. Use social media as a means to find those gurus and mentors and coaches to help guide you there. And again, get to those, you'll eventually get to those root causes of what's causing whatever that is that you've been wrestling with, that's keeping you trapped or keeping you anchored down, right? But ultimately, just think about what you're grateful for, and that will switch your mood into take that frown and turn it upside down, man. You will feel, wow, I do have a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be grateful for. And when you get into that mode, just live in it, feel that, and just truly let the universe, let God know that, wow, I truly am grateful. I am grateful for it. It could be the simplest things, like just the car you drive, or you have access to, or a phone, or the area of town that you live in, or someone even opens a door for you. I mean, the littlest things, the simplest things we take for granted. Just think about what you have to be grateful for. The fact that you can see with your eyes, right? You see with your eyes, you can speak, you have your limbs, you have, life can just change like that in an instant, right? For better or for the worse. And by being grateful and really feeling that at that core level, I believe that will momentum itself to favor you to move your life turning for you in a positive direction as opposed to negative. If you're just always gloom and doom, you're always down, you're always bitching and complaining and just angry and frustrated, because I know I've been there. I was there just yesterday. Okay, I allowed some stupid situation with T-Mobile and some, insurance thing. It was just a runaround for 3 hours. I wasted my day. I was so pissed off. But then I thought about it this morning when I woke up. I went, you wasted 3 hours of your precious time and your energy on something that, yeah, it needed to be attended to, but you need to put that much time and energy into it. It's easy to get sucked into these modes of this mind movement, right? And it can and the more that we work on autopilot, where we don't even realize what we're doing, but yet we're creating more and more of the same, right? That's putting more negative, and it's like everything was going wrong for me. Like literally, like reach for something, I stubbed my finger, I dropped something, spill something. It's just like drop the keys, I know dropping the keys is no big deal, but it's like, why am I fumbling everything? Why is everything like, why did I just stub my finger? Why did I, how come the littlest things, like, they just add up, right? Because you're creating that. You're actually creating that. It's a domino effect. So I'm just saying, man, when you can put yourself in that attitude of gratitude, really feel it at its core level, and really be thankful and great, and feel that and express that with words, sure, but with your heart, with your soul, really live in that moment, things will turn around. And then when you're in that mode, then really start looking at, okay, what is it that I really want to change about me? What do I want to create? Who do I want to become? Who is that person I want to be, right? So anyway, all right. I got to stop now before I ran another 10 minutes. It's already been almost 24 minutes. So you guys be blessed. Have a happy Sunday. Since today is Sunday, the time you see this, I don't know what day that is. I don't care what day it is. You have an awesome day. All right? Until next time, take care.